Hey everyone, happy 2023 and go Lions, way to beat the Packers. In this video, I talk about how to go from being a help desk or support person to being a sysadmin or system engineer or a manager or whatever you want beyond that. A lot of us started our IT careers in help desk or doing desktop support. Sometimes we did it because we love fixing computers, or that's one way to learn about computers. Some people want to stay technical, be a system admin or system engineer. Some people want to go the management route. For myself, I started off being a help desk person in a computer lab at the school I went to. And then my first job was help desk supporting applications. And from then I went on to becoming a system admin, then a system engineer, an infrastructure engineer, eventually becoming an infrastructure manager. I did change careers, or sort of change career paths a couple years ago to doing technical recruiting, but I feel like my IT background has helped tremendously making that shift. Before we go on too much, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I do other videos to help people search for jobs. I have videos on resumes, how to write resumes, best practice for interviews, how to work with recruiters, things like that. Check them out. And if there's anything you'd like me to add or do a video on, put it in the comments below. I'm happy to answer your questions or maybe even make a video out of it. Back to why we're here. If you want to get into an IT career and you've never had an IT job, and maybe you want to start in help desk or IT support, first of all, you need to write even a basic resume. Things you may not have thought of can be added to your resume. Say you're the go-to IT person or the tech person in your family. Maybe you've helped friends or family set up printers or their computers or even phones. Those are things you can put on a resume. Check out one of my videos on how to write a resume, and I give you ideas on some content and how to format resumes. But post in the comments below, reach out to me directly. I'm happy to maybe look at your resume, review it, offer some pointers. And if you're thinking, I don't have any experience, I don't have anything to put on my resume, there are so many tools available on the internet. YouTube alone has thousands and thousands of videos on how to do this, how to fix a computer, on cloud services, on programming. And then if you don't know which programming language to learn, there's Python, there's Java, there's JavaScript. It can be a lot, but what I would always suggest is watch some short basic videos on becoming a web developer or becoming a system admin and see what that entails. I wouldn't think too much, then you'll cause analysis paralysis, where you just have so much information and you don't know what to do and you end up doing nothing. If you're in a situation where there's a computer lab or a library or somewhere where you can work as a support person, you learn a lot that way. My first job was when I was at Wayne State University. I worked in the computer lab in the business school. I did everything from installing RAM, putting computers together, plugging things in, moving things around, setting up printers, troubleshooting connectivity issues. I learned a lot. And then after college, my first job was, I think it was an IT analyst was the role, but I was doing help desk for applications, for company-wide applications for EDS. That was a Detroit-based company a long time ago. Maybe some of you have heard of it. But EDS did a lot of work for General Motors. So I did a lot of work for General Motors. Sometimes it was boring. But after a year or two, I became a system admin, kind of get involved more in the back end of products. A couple of years after that, I worked on a relocation services team. It was a fun job where I learned a lot, but it got kind of monotonous after a while. So in IT, you're going to end up doing a lot of different things. And a lot of us are generalists. We're jack of all trades, master of none. That's okay, and that's what a lot of system admins or system engineers are. But eventually, you want to kind of focus on something. If you love programming, if you love math and logics, and maybe being a developer is what you want. It just wasn't for me. But if you can pick an area, then just kind of become an expert at that. If not, that's okay to just kind of know a little bit of everything. That is what a system admin, system engineer ends up doing. You end up touching the back end, the servers, network, security, everything around the infrastructure of an environment. So if you're in a help desk role already and you're not sure how to move beyond that role, maybe you feel stuck, or maybe it's been a long time and you want to advance your career, I've already suggested looking at YouTube videos and other online resources. Microsoft has a bunch of resources, just free learning tools. So learn something that can help you advance your skills, and maybe you can put on a resume that you have knowledge of something. Get certifications. There were a lot of paper MCSEs back in the day, but a certification does validate some sort of skills and knowledge. A+ certification is good. Security Plus, those are from CompTIA. You can do Microsoft certifications. Those are some of the common ones. They look good on a resume. And if you are already working, take a look around your company, maybe your website, your internal organization could possibly have free training, free certifications, just other resources you can use to kind of advance your skills. And the more initiative you show, it shows to your managers and your departments that, hey, maybe this person would be a good fit for a new project coming up or something like that. Volunteer for things, show initiative. If you've been at one company for too long, you'll also notice if there aren't opportunities to move within, you may have to change companies. And these days in IT, you almost have to move every 3 or 4 years to make a salary jump. My last few jobs when I was in IT, I was at one place for 4 years, and 3 years another place, then 3.5 years another. I learned a lot during that time, but I also made a salary jump. I also learned as a female in IT. I didn't think about it much at the time, but during one of my jobs, a couple of us started looking for new work, and we were open about the market out there and what we were making. And I was quite shocked to learn I was making quite less than my male counterparts doing the exact same work. So that made me realize the importance of that. And when I was looking for my next job, I was more conscious of that. So, I did make a bump, which I was happy with at least. But know your worth, know the fair market value. There's not that many females in IT. The number's growing, but we're all doing the same work. We should be paid the same. That's a topic for another video. Automation is huge in the IT industry right now. If you can automate processes and standardize things, like that's the way of now and the future. So any skills you can learn in programming, like PowerShell or Java or Python or Terraform. You'll hear infrastructure as a code. That just means creating your infrastructure by code, so everything's standard, everybody's doing the same thing. You're not building things manually, so there's less mistakes to be made. So learn a language. If nothing else, learn PowerShell. It can be very powerful, especially in environments even right now. It's an old language, still around, but then there's some new things. You'll hear Kubernetes and Docker. That's beyond, right? That's when you get into the DevOps and system engineering. But if you just want to learn new things, PowerShell is a great way to start. You can look at Python if you want to get into more like, say, data analytics, machine learning. Again, those are just different specialties you can get into, but pick one, kind of go that route. Google things, YouTube things. There's a lot of information. Just pick something and go with it. Technology changes rapidly, we all know that, and we have to keep up. Even when I was a senior systems engineer, I still had to learn new things all the time. There was new tools, there were certifications. I always had to keep up with the skills. It can be a lot of work. It feels like you're always in school, but that's just part of the job. There's some really good paying jobs out there, so if it was easy, we'd all be doing it. Well, that's kind of my take on my experience, some things you can do to kind of get into IT, as well as if you're already there, some steps you can take to maybe go to the next level. Well, that's it for now. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. If there's any questions you have, post in the comments. I'm happy to respond, or if there's a video that comes out of it, I'm happy to do that. I try to do a video maybe once a week, but yeah, anything I can do to help you in your job search, I'm happy to do it. Well, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.